These people want just the pure message, the pure 30-second things that I could watch real quick. That's what helped build 300K to 2.3 million followers. Then you're going to find that kind of sweet spot that you have to, in the back of your mind, not necessarily care what people say about it. You're putting a price to your boundaries.
Our Latino community, why do you think it's important for us to focus on branding, AI, or any aspect of what we've been speaking about today?
Because we need to see more of us. There's not enough people doing that look like us and with our backgrounds. There is a group of people who only listen to the way that you speak, the way that you motivate, the way that you educate, the way that you entertain people, and it's missing.
If you see a void somewhere where you're like, yo, I don't see myself or somebody doing that, that's an opportunity for you to step into that void and fill it.
Be the change you want to see is something that I live very strong by.
What's going on, Latin Wealth family? Welcome to another episode to the Latin Wealth Podcast. Super excited about today's conversation as we have somebody on the podcast that I've been wanting to get on for a minute now, and it's going to be a very educational episode for you guys. So make sure that you guys are tapped in and listening. But a little bit about our guest before we introduce her. She is really a content branding expert, founder of Deeper Than the Brand. And look, when it comes to content strategy, AI, this is the person you definitely want to be tapped into learning from. She's consistently putting out a lot of great content. Welcome to the Latin Wealth Podcast, Nicky Saunders. How you doing today? How you feeling?
Oh, it's popping. I'm feeling amazing. I'm honored to be invited. I'm honored. You know what I mean?
100%. And so, look, I'm going to ask you this before we get too deep into your background and all that. I know you a big Nipsey Hussle fan.
Absolutely.
I am too. Talk to us about what is one thing that you have learned from his legacy, that you've taken away from his legacy, and then let us know what's your favorite song or album from his.
Loaded Bases, favorite song. Okay. I can say off top, easy. But I would have to say one of the biggest things that he's taught me is, one, the power of community, right? How he pours into the exclusive experiences that he gives to his community. We saw it with the store. We saw it with his music, even with the $100 mixtapes. There was an experience that was attached to it. Everything that he rolls out, he thinks about what he always says, like, it's about the creativity that you have with the connection, right? It's not hard to create the connection, but what do you do? What is the experience afterwards that is going to create that brand loyalty? So it's one of the biggest things that Nipsey has taught me, plus plethora of things, just ownership and the power of that. But I think when we're talking about the community side of him and the reason why he goes is one of the biggest things for me.
Yeah, I like that a lot because I think a lot of times as business owners, we're always, and a lot of people are in the mindset of like, yo, what can you give me? What can I take from you? What can you buy from me, right? And again, he has it flipped where it's like, yo, how much value can I get from somebody purchasing this shirt? Or when they pull up to my show or our store and whatnot, what value can they get in addition to what they're already expecting?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's I still watch all his videos till this day, still pulling out new stuff. But he was really a one of one, and just trying to my best still get some of those tips and ideas and still carry that out is been very important to me.
That's super dope. And I know what else is important to you is where you grew up. You from Queens?
Absolutely.
Talk to us about growing up in New York, Queens, and all that. How was that growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Elmhurst, Queens, right? So it was super, super diverse. I'm talking about, you got Colombians, Peruvians, Indians, Mexicans, whatchamacallit, the Chinos are over on the other side. The what is it? Palestinians are over here. Like it was a huge melting pot compared to maybe any other cities that I've been. You think of New York, you think instantly melting pot, but Elmhurst had everything there. So it makes it hard for me to live anywhere else that doesn't have any type of diversity, because I'm like, that's all I was used to, right? Not nothing crazy. Was in Catholic school majority of my life, which is wild. But it was easy for me. I ain't getting no trouble. I'm an introvert. Like, my mom gave me a whole bunch of video games so I don't have to be outside, and it worked. So yeah.
For sure. No, that's interesting because I like to have this conversation because I grew up in California, and I'm a Cali Rican. I'm not a New York Rican. I'm a Cali Rican. You feel me? So like out there, it's not as diverse. You know, the city I was in, it was kind of diverse a little bit, but compared to like New York and the East Coast and all that, it was definitely not as diverse. So I remember going
you go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York.
I was gonna tell you, the first time I went was like 2016, or I think it was like 2017 or something like that. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was blown away. Blown away.
Yeah, no. I love the different, even if it's not the Puerto Rican Day Parade, I love the different parades. I love how they celebrate cultures, right? There's a parade, and especially in the summer, there's a parade for every single type of culture, every single type of event. It's amazing to see. They have like street vendors when they have the festivals. It's a really dope vibe. It's something that I miss a lot, but I don't miss those prices. So we gonna keep visiting. We gonna keep visiting.
Hey, same with me. So I'm out here in Dallas. So I love going back to Cali. Family out there, but you know, we're good where we're at right now. We're good.
How's Dallas?
Dallas is dope. So we came out here, and we knew one other couple. We didn't know anybody else out here. We got no family or nothing. So we had to come out here and build our own community and our own family and whatnot with friends and whatnot. So it's been good. I can't complain. We live right next to where the Dallas Mavericks play. It's dope. It's dope out here. I can't complain.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I've been looking at different places to move, and like Dallas continues to pop up, but it's a struggle. It's like I don't know. Is Dallas diverse? How about that? Is Dallas diverse? Okay, you don't have to ask no more. I'm not even gonna get you in trouble with Dallas people.
We trying. So we out here trying. So it's funny because like. We had our first Latin Wealth Summit at the end of last year, and my biggest thing is like, yo, we need to show the diversity in our community. Like, nobody else around here is doing it like the way I think we want to do it. So it's very important for us to bring in Dominicans, Colombians, Mexicans, everybody to be a part of it, to show like, yo, it's not, when you think of Latino or Hispanic, it's not just this idea in your mind. It's all shades and color. So there are people out here that are trying to like continue to normalize that, but it's you can't compare it to Florida or New York. No way. Not even Chicago.
That's why I'm thinking about moving to Florida. Yeah. I'm like, we went to Orlando a couple like months ago or so. I'm about to go again, and I didn't know it was so Puerto Rican out. I did not know.
Mini Puerto Rico.
I did not know. I was so like, oh my God, I love it here, because I want to get land and stuff in the island, but I can't trust that hurricane life. I can't. It hurts my soul to hear every single time that the power is out, and it hurts. So I'm like, I don't feel confident in that one. But I feel confident going to Florida.
No, for sure. And it's funny because my wife and I just came back from PR 2 days ago. Just came back. We went to the Bad Bunny concert and all that. And
How was it? I'm gonna stream it whenever this is being aired.
You got to.
It's going to be streamed in Amazon, so go watch that.
Go watch it. You're gonna watch that and you're gonna be like, you know what? Maybe we should buy some land out there.
I bet. I promise you. I bet.
It was beautiful. It was just seeing our culture, our people on stage, from the way we dress, dancing. It was just beautiful, amazing. So, but I bring that up to say, my wife, when we came back, she's like, would you be open to like downgrading in Dallas and maybe having a place here and there? Like, I'm like, let's do it. Like, if you open to it, like, I'm all for it.
I got that inspired. See, nah.
You feel me?
Maybe I don't need to watch it. Maybe.
No, I'm telling you, you're gonna watch it. You're gonna be like, yo, you might be in tears. I'm telling you.
Man.
I'm telling you.
I really want to. I don't know how quick those tickets sold out. I was not expecting it.
We went and we didn't even have tickets. We showed up we went to El Choli, which is the venue at that. We had no tickets. So I'm like waiting around to see if somebody's like selling them, trying to get a good deal. And I'm like, bump this. Like, I'm about to just go on SeatGeek and just pay the price.
Oh, you are bold. You went with
no tickets.
I can't. Granted, I would know what to do on the island.
Right.
That's fine.
For sure.
But
for sure.
I would still want to go. Like,
hey, I'm gonna tell you, I was playing it cool the whole time. Like, my wife is like, "You good? Like, we got this figured out." I'm like, "Yeah, we're good. We're just gonna go up and show up." But I was like checking the prices every day. But it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. I would definitely say stream it in the background or whatever. But
I'm going to.
It's dope. It's dope.
Yeah, I'll be going to New York around that same time. I think I'll be in the air, but I'm catching the replay of whatever I don't.
Got to.
Yeah.
Got to.
Facts.
Got to. So New York, Queens.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, you went to the Navy.
I did 9 years.
You went to the Navy for 9 years because you wanted to do something. You wanted to get out, travel. I think you said you went to about 20 different countries before you were 23, which is amazing. Yeah. You had a phenomenal time in Jerusalem. Like, talk to us about that period in your life and maybe the transition coming out of that. Man,
that was. I'm blown away. You knew all that. That's crazy. But
I got to come correct with you on here.
Nah, see, I appreciate that. That that experience with the Navy, with the sole basis that I went in for travel and money for college, and I got both, right? I went to Dubai before it got fire. You know what I mean? Like, before what we see now of everybody and their mamas going there. Yeah. I know that you mentioned the Jerusalem trip. That is humbling. I swear, if there wasn't so much politics happening with what's happening, if anybody who believes can go to Jerusalem, please do. That thing, I became such a typical. I bought a Bible, a rosary, and all. Please bless that. Please go over here.
Let me get some of that holy water.
Yo, I have the Jordan River. I took the water. It was one of those times, but it was almost like a gift and a curse, right? Because I traveled so young, like all those different places, that when majority of my friends are like, let's go here, let's go, let's there, I'm like, I'm not interested. I'm not. The only place I would want to go to is Australia. That's about it.
Have you been to Japan?
No. But see, here's the thing. This is me being very, very realistic. I don't like going to places that I couldn't even fake the funk. You know what I mean? I couldn't. A 5'2" female, my fiance, she's 5'2" as well. 2 females going to a complete, I can't even fake it. Italian, you can kind of fake it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Filipino, you can kind of fake it if I wanted to go to the Philippines.
Yeah.
You can't fake.
No, you're gonna stand out. Yeah, you're gonna stand out.
You can't. So like you need a translator. I'm gullible. I'll probably get like something that may cost $5. I'm paying over $100.
Yeah,
I just
I heard that.
I haven't like I want to if I have a solid like somebody is coming that I know that can speak that or know somebody who's like there has to be some references.
Okay,
If not, you will not see me at no country that I cannot fake the funk. I can't.
Yeah,
It's
fair enough. So your friends are hitting you up. You're like, I've been there, done that, or I'm not interested. What's next? So at this point, 9 years, I think you said it was some political stuff that was politics, I should say, between working at the Navy and you got out, went into tech or something along that line. What made you go in that direction?
So I was in IT in the Navy, right? Yeah, I was IT in the Navy. But there's like two different types of ITs, right? So everybody knows IT, like, okay, you do computer, tech work, all that stuff. In the Navy, you have two sides. You have that side, but then you have like the comm side, which is like the reason why the ship can talk to land, the reason why ships can talk to other ships and things like that. So that I was really dope with that. So going out of the Navy, I got a regular bank job doing IT stuff. And I was just miserable. I did not like it. I don't know if I was spoiled with, I knew I was traveling somewhere else. I knew there was some new destination. I wasn't in the same spot too long, right? Doing just the same thing over and over again. The routine killed me. So I was just like really like, I don't know what to do. That's when I started kind of like looking all over the place. I jumped on YouTube and I had this screaming guy always pop up on my YouTube. For those who don't know, I'm referring to Dr. Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker. For some reason, in that time frame, he was speaking to me, right? Like he was yelling at me. One thing that we kind of relate to is that he didn't have a true relationship with his dad, right? And so I had my issues with my dad. So I was already, a dude who's authentically him, has daddy issues, and is successful. Let me watch, right? So come to find out, he had an online community. He had all these events. So I joined the online community, went to all the events, was volunteering for about like 2 years, still trying, like for some reason at the end of the bank job, I was like messing around with creating content, right? Just putting like E's voice to like different sports videos. I love doing those types of mashups. I love taking kind of just a raw idea and making it come to life. I didn't know what that was per se, right? Sure. It wasn't like what it is now where it's super easy to grab the phone and create all this stuff. So after like the 2 years, he was like, yo, you want to take over the social media? And I said, okay. I mean, I'm addicted to it as much as it is. I have never done it, but sure, let's do it. And I kind of went more into it from a sense of I'm a fan, right? So what does a fan want to see from a page? Not what the company wants, the brand wants, or whatever. What does a fan want? And so by going with that and understanding that, okay, these people want just the pure message, like the pure 30-second things that I could watch real quick when I'm scrolling, get motivated, keep it moving. That's what helped build from like 300K to 2.5, well, 2.2, right? I think we're 2.2 or 2.3. Right. We're at 2.3 right now. million followers. And then once that started working, people were like, Nikki, how did you do that? And I'm like, and I'm behind the scenes, mind you, like just came from the Navy, working behind, like I'm not the talent until, you know, people really started to bug me and be like, nah, come on, talk to me about this. And so then it kind of grew from there.
And so, man, I love that. I want to know in that, because look, you said you're volunteering, you're helping
Yeah.
out. I think you were going up to Carl after the events, and you're like, yo, how can I help? You know,
Yeah.
where did that servant mentality come from? Because not
Oh, that's
everybody like
Navy. That's the Navy for me. I so in the Navy you have to do like all these different jobs. You get your well, I came in. Let me tell you this. So I came in with no job, right? So you're supposed to pick a job. I was like, I just want to go to the Navy, and I left like a couple of days later, right? Probably like a week later. I'm that spontaneous at the time. I've gotten better. So, but I came in with no job. So I had to figure out what type of job that I wanted. So I had to do this job. I had to do this job. Wow. The main thing was doing a lot of grunt work, right? I had to do a whole bunch of grunt work. So everything else came easy because I was doing the most dumbest things, like pick up trash, bring up the rope, paint all the walls. It was just horrible. It was horrible. So when I came to like real life, volunteering wasn't hard for me because I was already I volunteered for 9 years. You feel what I'm saying? Like I volunteered for 9 years to do a whole bunch of things. It wasn't like I was doing just one thing. So it was easy to be like, yo, you need help? Cool. Now, what I will say for like entrepreneurs who do have a serving mindset, it is hard from a sense of understanding your value in the beginning. Right? Because you're so used to like, yo, let me help you out. Like, I could do that. And things that come easy to you, you're like, nah, don't worry about it. Like, there you go. Come to find out you leave a lot of money on the table by doing that. But one thing I could say, because of like I understand the serving mindset, is that I've mastered leveraging too. Like I may not be good necessarily with asking the money up front, but I know how to take advantage of an opportunity. And in any type of opportunity, it could be big, small, it doesn't matter, because it has to make sense eventually to me. So if I'm not learning something, if I'm not getting some type of more exposure than to a new network than I couldn't do by myself, then there's got to be money involved. But if there's opportunities there, I know how to leverage. I know how to leverage great. So that's where the serving joint came from. Because Navy, I had to do everything. Jesus.
You had to do everything. So when you were getting people approaching you like, yo, Nikki, how'd you do this? Put us on, help us out. What was your reaction? Were you like, yo, I'm just focused on stuff? Talk to us about that mindset. Like, did you know what to charge people eventually?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. You was like, let me just go ahead and help you out.
Yeah, hell no. Like I always say, if you would have caught me on a one-on-one back in those days, it would only cost like $20, like $100 for a whole month. I didn't know better. I didn't know, but down the line, by getting it wrong so many times,
You eventually get it right.
you eventually get it right. Like you tend to, and I hope that the people listening don't have to go through this, right? Because there's so many different examples. But I'm a hardhead, so even if I hear different examples, I'm gonna do it anyway. So shout out to my hard-headed people. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna go through. You're gonna go through undervaluing yourself. Then you're gonna overprice yourself, right? Then you're going to find that kind of sweet spot that you have to in the back of your mind not necessarily care what people say about it. Meaning, there's going to be people who are going to say you should charge more, and then there's going to be people who say you charge too much. And once you understand how to like get that out of your head and be happy with the price that you are giving, that's where, like, I'm not big on I understand the benchmarks, market value, that whole nine. But sometimes you have to be okay with lowering it sometimes making it higher. For one, something that gives you peace, but two, that really represents the values. So I went through all different stages when it comes to pricing. And to some people may still think that, oh, Nikki, you still undervaluing yourself. I was like, for me, there's a bigger game. There's, once again, I'm a master of leverage. Like, for me personally, I have one of the most dedicated communities. Like, if you rock with me, nah, Nikki's fire. Like, you can't say anything. Nah, Nikki's dope. I'm in rooms and that's just because of the stuff that I've done, the stuff that I've charged, things like that, right? The only thing I will say for people who are figuring out the pricing and that struggle with that is finding that balance of what do you want to do and what do they want you to do. So I use, like, my lives. I go live all day answering people's questions, showing different things. I could go live. That's on my time, right? I could do that. When you go into my DM and go, hey, can you look at this? No, that's on your time, right? Okay, there's a charge for that, right? That's good. So there's understanding. You're putting a price to your boundaries. That's how I look at things.
That's good. And in the process of scaling E's social media from, I think you said it was 300K to 2.2 million, what did you learn about yourself in that process?
One, the everybody uses this word, but it's extremely true. Authenticity is real, but authenticity is rare. And this is why people attract to it. Because when we look at E's page, that's E all the way. That's who he is, right? Now, I wish he showed more a little bit of his lighter side because he's a really nice guy, right? But he, he's a powerful speaker. And one thing that he's big on is not doing what other people are doing, right? So for those who may be understanding the marketing world where everybody's doing these challenges, everybody's doing these high ticket stuff and things, and he'll always do it his way. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it's refreshing to see that he is unapologetically him, that allows people like me to be unapologetically myself, right? And which was wild because, you think of E, motivational speaker, pastor, all of that. I, in the beginning, felt as if I couldn't necessarily be fully 100% me. And I believe my 9-to-5ers can understand this, where you are working for someone and there's an image. And so you almost feel like who you are really can't really come out, right? Like, now, granted, that a lot of me can come out, but there was parts like my sexuality. I like chains. He doesn't like chains, right? So, like, there's certain, like, I like to go live. I like there's certain things that I was like, are we not allowed to do this? So, and I believe finding your identity on social media is one of the hardest things to do, and that's why people struggle with consistency and feeling like it's not a task, because you really haven't found yourself on social media. Where now I've gotten to the point where it's like, oh no, I can post whatever, be whatever, do what I want to do, you know, and still add value. And there's people who rock with me for who I am, right? Not everybody's going to like me, and I'm not for everybody. You know, I think we were put on this earth not to serve everybody, but to impact a lot of people. Like, we were put on this earth to speak to a specific group of people. Now, how many that is, I don't know. But if we focus on that, I'm cool. Like, I'm here to help introverts and behind the scenes innovators, right? Now, does that reach more? Right? Of course. I get extroverts come up, Nicky, what's up, what's poppin'? I'm like, hey. And like, I'm good, but I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? This is a lot, right? But really I want to make sure the people take whatever is in their mind and create something of value for others. That's always my biggest thing. I want to create the help create the biggest brands, the biggest creators. It's not about me, it's about them. And that's one thing that I've learned from E, where it's like, who are you serving, right? And once you understand who you're serving, it doesn't matter about anything else.
No, that's definitely well said, and I think that's why so many people gravitate towards you, because yes, you give phenomenal value about content and AI and things of that nature, but you got the shoes in the background, like you know, you Nipsey, you know, all this types of stuff. Like, people, there's other reason why people follow you, right? And it's funny because as you were talking about E, I remember recently watching one of his sermons, and you know, he's preaching on stage, and I look down and my man's got no shoes on. Like, he's gonna be himself. He go and so, but I think that's something, I see that and I see you. I'm like, that's something I'm working on this year, is being more authentic on social, just showing up, being who I am, being me, just being myself.
It's so freeing, because I always say it costs to not be you. It's way more expensive. From time and money, it's way more expensive not to be you, right? Figuring out how to always keep up this kind of facade, this character, right? And there are people who do great characters, right? But I feel that I'm so in tune with myself. The biggest thing that I would recommend anybody is, even before taking content serious, social media is like, get to know who you are, right? And that's going to be a process, but like, get to know who you are, because are you okay with people knowing who you are? Right? That's the big, and sometimes we are ashamed of, let's say, even from simple things of, I don't want to record in my house because I don't really like how my house looks, right? To, I don't like how I look, I don't like how I sound, yo, am I thinking too much? Am I like, really looking at it in the sense of like, who am I? Why am I not proud of myself? Because if I was proud of myself, I would show up. Like, I want people to see, hey, look what I did, boom, 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 boom. Because for me, how I brand myself, I don't necessarily brand myself as the expert. I go, look what I found. Look what we're doing. Hey, do this tool with me. Like, I don't go, I know everything and blah, blah, blah. That's exhausting. I started to do that because I thought that's what you had to do, industry standard. Like, everybody has to act like they know and there's credibility and everything like that. But then I was like, that's exhausting. I'm really looking up things in real life. Let me just show them what I'm looking up. Okay, YouTube came out with new features. Can we talk about it? And whoever wants to listen, listen. If you don't want to listen, cool. This is what I'm doing in real life. I'm a geek in real life. Like, I look up AI tools in real life. Like, that's not because it's trendy. It's because I really like creating all this stuff. And I'm okay with showing that side, where before I thought you already had to know something. And it's like people just want to see the process and come with you on that journey.
Talking about the journey and process, speak more about Deepers in the brand and how that started, and what are some of the things that you were focusing on when you built that?
Yeah, so I realized that one, people kept asking me for a course of a community of some way, shape, or form, right? And so at the time, okay, let's do. It first started. The name was first Beast Mode Digital, right? And it started with like a boot camp, like quick 4-week boot camp, and have no because I'm not. If y'all really pay attention to me, I hate courses. I absolutely hate courses. I'm not a fan of it, right? So it was always struggle. I was always like, okay, let's do like group coaching. Let's do that, right? Then I found out.
You think the reason why you hated courses is because most people just don't even open them up?
That too. That too. But because I'm big on actually creating the transformation.
Okay.
And not just to collect the coins. So I know if you're majority of the people who are my audience, if you're looking for information, it's easy to find information. So you don't need another course because you're not going to do anything with it again, right? But cool. I understand. Some people are like, Nikki, I still want it just to reference it. Okay, cool. So we started as Beast Mode Digital, then found out there was a trademark issue. So people who have their brands, please check trademark.
Gotcha.
Okay, please.
Very important.
So I changed it to Deeper Than the Brand, and what it has become, we've had 7,000, I think we're at 8,000 people right now inside of the community of people who's come through, try to learn AI tools, try to learn how to create content, try to learn how to be more consistent in that kind of way. So the educational side of me is with Deeper Than the Brand. Now, what I have.
Community hosted on?
Oh, Mighty Networks.
Okay.
Yeah, Mighty Networks, right? Okay. But now I've realized a new gap where accountability is needed, right? So like we just said, people won't go through the courses, but they still want, they still want to be around the people who know the information, people who are around that are doing things, but they're just lacking certain behaviors, right? And plus they're burning out. My biggest thing last year, year before, I had a bad burnout. I used to have a podcast, and at the end of that podcast, I burnt out bad. That was one of the main reasons why the podcast ended. And so I realized that there was certain behaviors that I needed to do, which was like always learn something new every single day, move in some way, shape, or form, right? Breathe, whether it's take a break, pray, meditate, whatever it is, create, and then connect. And like I said, I'm an introvert, so connecting with people was huge. And I realized by those 5 behaviors and focusing on that for about 30 days, that had allowed me to get serious with my YouTube channel, which is now at like, I think we're almost 41,000 subscribers. I'm consistent on Instagram. I'm started Substack. Like I'm way out. The opportunities are coming because of the behaviors and accountability that I had. And so people from Deeper Than the Brand was like, hey, we need a community for that. Okay, I need to focus for a certain period of time. I need to experiment because I'm big on experimenting. I don't look at social media as you have to do it. I look at it as like, here's an experiment. I'm starting a new series. Let's try it for 30 days. Let's see how that works, right? And so that's how Lion's Behavior was born, based off of burnout. And so now we have a community that does different challenges, gets different prompts, and creates the brand and creates the different content off of the prompts. Because I've saw the shift of, let's say, from courses to let me give you the prompt so you can have the conversation. Because AI is here. AI can teach you everything. So you don't necessarily need to hear me. But if I give you this particular guideline, this prompt, that's going to let you have all the different assets, all the different frameworks, all that great stuff, and now you're active with the conversation, oh, game over. That's half of the battle right there. You having your own strategy without necessarily getting on the phone with me. And so I'm replacing myself by creating these different experiences and spaces with that. So yeah, that's the evolution of everything.
Yeah, no, that's good. And it's funny because I was listening to a podcast recently and they were speaking about just that, about courses and how AI is just going to wipe that whole industry out. Instead of you buying a course, you can interact with an AI agent specifically on whatever it is that you're trying to learn, branding, marketing, and you get your information that way. And I could only imagine how much more effective that is than just reading, a PDF or going through a couple of videos,
It's we're just in that new age of, one, we were already in the age of where we have too much information and not enough execution.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just in that. So it's not hard. I'm not going to charge you for information. I'm going to charge you to be in a space where everybody's doing this, trying to figure this out, as well as giving you the correct guidance prompts that is going to give you exactly what you want. Because a course could somewhat give you what you want, right? Where a prompt is something that is a more of a plug and play based off the conversations you've already had with like a ChatGPT, AI, any type of AI program, or how do we create this AI video, and how do we start creating our own like AI influencer like branch, right? I was one of my latest videos with not with Gary V, but talking about Gary V's AI predictions. He was saying like, yo, you should start making different AI influencers under your brand. So and to have their own different pages and things like that is the same thing that what Walt Disney did. Just we're looking at it in a different perspective. And so that's something that I'm really looking into, getting into different characters, because there's different sides of what I want to show, right? And I know there needs to be different, like people need to see themselves in different ways. And so looking at how do you create a character, another influencer to do whatever you need, because there was one that I saw, that AI influencer that was making 10,000 a month. It's crazy. Super crazy.
I can see that because these companies are not going to care about who the influencer is. They care about the engagement and the reach. So if they have the reach, they have the engagement, they have the community, okay, we'll pay them 10,000. So, man, going back to the thing you said about Disney, I thought that was very interesting. So you're saying essentially what Gary Vee was saying is Disney is the top layer brand, but they have characters such as like Winnie the Pooh or Mickey that kind of represent the brand as well. And people are, he's suggesting you do that with your business as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So from a more realistic standpoint, right? Because people are like Disney character, whatever. Think about it like this. You are essentially, for my music people, you're creating your own record label with artists you've made, right? Regardless of the backlash that Tim got, he kind of announced something of creating an AI artist. You can see more of things coming out like that, right? We're thinking about podcast networks. You are creating different podcast shows that are all AI. Stephen Bartlett showed, he's not consistent with it no more, but he showed that you can do an AI podcast in your own voice, have different AI images to make it visual, and it will work, right? Now, these voices are getting so good that you don't know which one's AI or not. The voices, I'm not going to say the video is all the way there yet, but the voices are getting really, really good. And so why not would a person who has a podcast be like, I don't have time to personally create 4 other shows that I have in mind. So let me create different shows, type it out, have it produced. We're good, right? With things like 11 Labs, right? They have over like 1,000 AI voices, and you could design AI voices. Why not? You know, you could create characters with ChatGPT, Midjourney, and use Kling to make them come to life. VO3, make them come to life, and now you're having the visual side of things going on, right? So where we are, I believe, depending on your creativity and your open-mindedness, is going to allow you to possibly create your own like world of characters, because that is what Gary Vee is doing with those V-Friends situations. He's creating his own characters. He's coming out with comic books. He's doing it in his own way. I'm interested to see who's going to do it in their own way from an AI standpoint.
You named off, and that's great information. You named off a couple different tools, the AI tools. What are maybe like your 5 favorite AI tools, or the ones that you're using the most right now?
Yep. So, Poppy AI is probably one of my favorites. And what that one is, it has ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok. It has all the AI models in one, but it's more like a Miro, Notion kind of vibe where you could just plug and play your videos and it transcribes everything and it trains the AI. So like, for example, I have my videos so it can get the tone, right? And the voice and figure out my top videos. Then I can put my competitors, right? So they can understand the foundation. And I can just tell the chat, hey, based off what my competitors are doing, give me some of the top ideas and then create a script in my own voice or recreate this particular one in my own voice. I can do that with my analytics. Hey, based off my analytics, create this, make it in my tone, as well as create some of the thumbnails, because now they do images, create some of the thumbnails that I may need. So from a whole content system wise, I'm going to say Poppy AI. Opus Clip, if you do long form, like you do this podcast, you could take this podcast and put it in there, and it's going to create viral short form content for you, right? Captions, all of that. So Opus Clip is great for that. I would still say ChatGPT for a brainstorming buddy, right? Just I'll grab my phone and just talk to it real quick. I'm cool with that, right? So from a brainstorming buddy, I'll say that. What is 11 Labs, like I mentioned, as far as the voices. Kling and VO3, I'll give like my fifth one. Kling probably more than VO3 for the masses because it's so easy to upload a picture and just give a very simple prompt. Hey, have the person walking and picking up a flower. And it will take that picture and have the person walking. And it's really, really dope. I created a whole Inky Johnson video all in AI through just like ChatGPT and Kling. So I would probably say, yeah, Poppy, Opus, ChatGPT, Kling and VO3.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of great platforms. I want to make sure I get you out of here on time. I got a couple more
Go
questions,
ahead.
and
You good.
I know there's a lot of information that we're hearing. So if you're out there, I want to encourage you. Like if you hear one of those platforms, just take one of them, learn it, play around with it, figure out like what are some things that you need help with, whether it's brainstorming or like you can use them for a variety of different things. But I would say pick one of them, learn it, and just take it step by step because it could be overwhelming. And then eventually you get to a point where you can use multiple at once, right? What I want you to quickly speak to is our Latino community. Why do you think it's important for us to focus on branding, AI, or any aspect of what we've been speaking about today?
Because we need to see more of us. You feel me? Like, and this is no shade to no other race or anything.
No, for sure. Talk
right?
about it.
But we are highly underrepresented, right? And granted, it's starting to come out more. It absolutely is, but there still needs to be more. And so the more that we understand how most of us are just overthinking about our content, most just don't know the tools, right? Most don't have the space to feel safe that it is okay to post, right? The more that we create those different spaces and experiences, the more that we're going to see more of us. And the people who are like, oh, there's already people doing that, there's not enough people doing that look like us and with our backgrounds. And you feel what I'm saying? Like, I used to have to stop myself from thinking that, like, oh, somebody talked about that. Somebody did this. But there is a group of people who only listen to the way that you speak, the way that you motivate, the way that you educate, the way that you just entertain people. And it's missing. And it's clearly missing because how other races are dominating, right? So it's beyond important to just put yourself out there, understanding like when people look at your page, what do you want them to know about you? The biggest thing. If I Google you, what do you want to pop up? And we're going to go through this phase of trying to figure it out, but try to figure it out, right? And the more that we do that, the more that we realize that we should have started sooner.
That's good. That's powerful. That's something that we definitely talk a lot on this platform is not being afraid to put yourself out there, right? There's great platforms in our community that are doing great things, but there needs to be more of us. And I love what you said that some people will listen to you based on where you're from or the way you talk, things of that nature. People may listen to me because I'm a Cali Rican opposed to somebody else, right? So I love that you said that. And I think, again, to kind of piggyback up what you said, if you see a void somewhere where you're like, yo, I don't see myself or somebody doing that, that's an opportunity for you to step into that void and fill it.
Yeah. Yeah. The be the change you want to see is something that I live very strong by. Right? If you ever complain about something, if there's nothing that represents you in some way, shape, or form, then do something about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's only going to continue if you only going to complain or ignore about it. And so all I can say for me to create that change is to empower others to be themselves. Empower others to create in a way that they never thought they could create, right? With these tools that make it super easy. And an example of whether it's not through me, by showing other people who are just like, yo, they're unapologetically them. They're killing it. Even though you may not agree with some of the things they say, how they do it, they're doing it in the way they feel the most comfortable with. What is the way that you feel the most comfortable with? Who are you serving? How can you help? And then, of course, how can you help and still make a bag? Because I'm not trying to have you a starving artist out here. You know what I mean? Like, or a creator. I just want people to truly live in their purpose and allow these platforms to showcase that purpose.
That's good. Beautiful. Is there a podcast studio near you where you live at in your area?
Probably. There's a few.
We may need a part 2. There's a whole bunch of other things that I want to tap in with you about. Or if you want to come check out Dallas, if you're ever in the area, please let me know.
We may have to make that happen. I need to make a trip to Texas. People have been like, Nikki, you need to come through. It's getting big. It's getting big in the media side, and I was like,
it is.
We'll see.
I will say that there's a couple different media platforms out here in Dallas. If you pull up, let me know. There's a studio out here, but I would love to, number one, show you around Dallas. Number two, get a part 2 in with you, because I think there's a lot more that needs to be said about this conversation. Before we get out of here, who is one person that you believe needs to be on the Latin Wealth platform? The only rule is you got to know them.
Hold on. Let me. You're like, and I have to know them. Hold on.
Yeah.
God, Lee.
So
That is a very good question.
If you know Bad Bunny, that's great.
If I know Bad Bunny, that's hilarious. Actually, what's my guy's name? Mike. I need to introduce. Mike is like the manager of some of the top creators. You know Chiclet, right?
Mm-hmm. I've had him on.
Manager.
I've had Mike on.
Oh, you have? Okay, great. That's my guy. That's who. I didn't even know you had him on.
Mike is phenomenal. I honestly, I had a conversation with him like 2 years ago with Chiclet.
Oh, you need to. He's been doing a lot of new things. You need to check.
Yes,
you need to check on him again.
For sure. I agree with you. That's a good one. Shout out to Mike.
I'm gonna look. That's the one I'll say now.
Yep, that's fine.
And I gotta get back to you, but yeah, do a part 2 with him, because he's been up to some amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Last thing is, where can people find you? Where can people reach out to you if they have questions or want to be a part of your community and things of that nature?
Absolutely. So, YouTube, Nicky Saunders. This is Nicky's on every other platform. Nicky with an S. Please, thank you. Instagram. I'm getting back on TikTok since they're not going to ban it. Praise God. But so TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever your favorite platform, I'm on it. And I'm taking Substack very seriously. So find me on Substack too. Just get to know me first. Once you get to know me, then you can click the link in the bios and get all the other stuff.
Beautiful. And we'll link everything in the description of this podcast episode. You guys know where to find us at Latin Wealth everywhere. It's your boy Chris. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.